Hello everybody, Floppy Hat Photos back here again for a random rant. And today's random rant is about auto parts store employees. Stopped by a little chain auto parts store right here in town. I needed to pick up 3 different belts for my Suburban because the mechanic that had been working on it had, I'm assuming, threw mine away and put different belts on it because nothing was in the right place. Like, he had way too short of belts on it, so like my power steering pump thing's all cockeyed, and the air conditioner compressor is the wrong way, and it's a mess. So trying to figure out what size I need, and I go ahead and I get myself some wire. I wrap it around to get the measurement, and the ironic part is I leave it right where the belt was when it's on that position. I measure it and it doesn't come with the same numbers. I'm like, something ain't quite right here. So I'm like, I'll just take this belt with me. I put the belt where it was, move it back, I move it down. He's about 2 more inches, 1 inch and 3 inch. I got 3 different belts. I got 2 belts I got to measure off of. One, I need a belt that's 1 inch longer. I need a belt that's 2 inches longer. Then a belt that's 1 inch longer. Then 3 inches longer. Sorry. So it's 1 and 3 and then 2. So I'm like, no big deal. Take the belts in there, and there's no markings on them. There's no numbers on the belts. So I'm having to go by just kind of what it is. I'm trying to lay it out across tape measure, trying to roll a belt, it's a pain in the butt. So every auto parts store I've ever been in my life always has hanging up on the shelf behind there is like a measurement tool that they use, like when they measure your feet, but it's like a giant yardstick type looking thing that basically you hook the belts around it, you pull it apart, and then you read the numbers on it, and it tells you what length your belt is. So if it tells me I have a 48 inch belt, then I'll know I need a 51, or I'll need a 59 or 49 or whatever. So I'm like, no big deal. So I walk there with my belt, ride the motorcycle up there, walk in, got a new guy there, never seen before. I don't go in the parts store a lot, but I'm in there enough with the not. So the guy starts asking me for the model, the truck, and the make and the year and stuff, and I'm like, well, this is all different. Everything, all the brackets are different, so it ain't really gonna matter. But okay, fine, because hey, can't do anything without the computer. So I'm like, okay, 1967 Chevy Suburban, and he's like, oh, looks the thing. It starts off in 2020, and it goes down to like 1970, and it stops there, and he goes, oh, we don't even go back that far. I said, well, looks like a little green arrow there in the top. You could probably click that, and it'll give you more options. And he goes, oh, you know more about computers than I do. I thought, okay. He goes, it's only my 2nd day. I'm still training. I'm like, okay. So he clicks the little green button. He hits 1967. Okay, no big deal. He said, what is it again? I said, Chevy Suburban. So he starts looking, and he scrolls right past Chevrolet, and he's looking for apparently Suburban in the make. And I said, well, it's a Chevrolet. So I said, well, it's a Chevrolet. And he goes, you said Suburban. I go, yes, it's a Chevrolet Suburban. So you got to hit the button Chevrolet first. So he clicks the button, finally goes and finds Chevrolet. So he finds it, clicks the button, takes the next page, says C10, whatever stuff. Like the 5th one down is Suburban C10 or C10 Suburban. I said number 5. He goes, you said it was a Suburban. I go, yes. He goes, he's like, hold. He goes, well, that says C10 Suburban. I said, yes, that is correct. That means half ton. Suburban is the fact that it's not a pickup truck. And he goes, oh, okay. Well, I was looking for Suburban. I'm like, yes, but I already told you number 5. So he clicks number 5, which is C10 Suburban. Then he pops up and he goes, so what's the belt for? I go, well, I need a belt for the air conditioner. I need a belt for the power steering. I need a belt for the alternator. And he pulls them up. He goes, such and such and such model numbers. I said, those won't help me a bit because I don't have a stock alternator, I don't have a stock power steering pump, and I don't have a stock air conditioner. So none of those are gonna matter. I don't even have stock pulleys. I got only pulleys. Everything on there has been upgraded. So I was telling you, I have these belts right here in my hand. You should have a measuring tool back there that allows you to measure this belt. Tell me how big it is. We'll get 1 inch bigger, 3 inches bigger, and then it won't be 2 inches bigger. He goes, well, I don't know anything about that. I said, well, there should be a bracket. It's gonna look at yardstick again. It's gonna be probably green. I've seen them in green, I've seen them in red, I've seen them in blue. So have like horseshoe looking shapes. 1 up, 1 down on top, bottom of this piece. And he goes, well, I don't know anything about that. So I was like, okay, so you gotta ask her. I'm like, okay. So she gets off the phone finally. Or actually, she puts down the phone. She's still going back to look for parts and ask me what I needed. And I told her, and she goes, oh yeah, it's right back here. So she takes him back there to get the item. And apparently they don't trust their employees to steal it, or lose it. So they have it bolted to the shelf. So he's like, well, it's bolted to the shelf. I'm like, okay. I hand the belts. He goes, well, you got to come back with me. And I'm like, okay. So I go to head back with him. And I go, I'll follow you. And he goes, no, go ahead. And I go, I don't know where I'm going. Like, he goes, well, just go right and then go left. So I turn right, I turn left. No, not there. And I go, okay. So I get back in the thing. I'm now going straight after I'd already made my right. And I go, too far straight. He goes, no, you should turn left. I'm like, that's why I wanted to follow you instead of having you try and direct me from behind me after I've already made the wrong turns. It's like, I could just walk behind you and unless you're going with the concept that you think I'm going to start just throwing random boxes of parts in my pockets, I don't think I'm going to steal anything a foot behind you that you wouldn't see me stealing a foot in front of you. So finally get there, I spot the item hanging on the shelf, the bracket. So I reach up, I grab it, and it's got serpentine on one side and V-belt on the other. So I need the V-belt. So I hand the belt, he looks at me, he goes, well, I don't know what to do with this. I go, okay. So I hook the belt over it, I slide the piece up, and on the actual bottom U, there's a bunch of numbers. There's like a 11, there's a 13, there's a 28, and there's whatever. I'm not sure what that stuff's about, but it's there. So on the actual unit, it has inches and millimeters, both sides. And I'm like, no problem. So I stretched it out and it says 5150, whatever is about where it's at. But I'm not sure what line I'm supposed to look at, because again, this window of these lines it's probably 2 inches of gap there. So I'm not sure what line I'm reading. Like, I don't know, I'm supposed to read the top of it, the bottom of it, and the line says 13, 11, 28, whatever. I don't know stuff. So he goes, well, I go, this is your job, but do you not know how? And he goes, well, I don't know how to convert. He goes, so it's 5,550 inches. And I go, nope, that would not be possible, because there's 12 inches to the foot. I mean, it's hundreds of feet long, and this belt does not appear to be hundreds of feet long. So that's impossible. Turns out I now know a little more about what it is, but still don't know what line I'm supposed to be reading. And I looked at his stuff, and I said, so is there somebody that can help us? And he goes, what? He goes, well, it's right there. You don't know how to read it? And I go, no, I don't know how to read it because I don't work here. And then he repeated again that he just started here yesterday. It's his second day, and he's still on training. I said, okie doke. So I took my belt off the little thing, have my second belt in my hand, which I then walk out. And as we're walking back towards the front I don't know what he's doing. He's not following me because apparently I still got to leave, which found my way out, got to the front counter. And I said, I really wish you all the best. And I hope you get quality training, because right now you don't know anything, and I wish you the best. And apparently that offended him, because he got all defensive. Well, I don't know how to read. You don't know how to read it? I'm like, okay, yeah. But I don't work here, and I wasn't saying that you were a bad person. I just said, I hope you get better training, because right now you're not trained. And they're like, well, maybe this person can help us. So I sent her stuff. The lady was walking up the aisle, and she goes, what's going on? I said, I'm just trying to get some belts measured so I can get different size belts, because these belts aren't the right size. And she made some remark about, well, there's a thing back in the back. And I said, yeah, we already tried that. He didn't know how to read. He goes, well, nobody's ever trained me. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I didn't say it, man. All you got to do is, you don't know how to do it. She does. She goes, I don't know how to use that thing either, that measure. And I'm like, okay, you guys have a wonderful day. And I gotta walk out. He's like, mouth off something. I didn't hear it, kind of under his breath, but kind of loud. And the lady walked to the aisle and goes, okay, everybody just needs to calm down here. And I go, calm down? I'm perfectly calm. Like, I haven't raised my voice. Haven't said anything derogatory. I haven't done anything to you guys at all. Well, everybody just needs to calm down. I go, who's everybody? He goes, well, I'm mainly talking to him. I said, okay, then you look at him and say, you need to calm down. As an employee, you need to calm down. Don't tell a customer who hasn't raised his voice, hasn't been indignant, hasn't anything, because there's a park store right there in the same parking lot, within walking distance. I can throw a baseball and hit their window. So from inside your building, it's not a big deal. I'll just walk over there and see if somebody there has any competency in themselves, and go from there, and not have to defend myself for not raising my voice, not being mean, just saying, hey, I hope they train you. That's all I said. And then she's like, well, I think everybody just needs to calm down. I said, again, using this everybody term, when right now you're the one raising your voice, and he's raising his voice, and I'm not. So why don't you guys just calm yourself down and have a wonderful day? As I was walking out, I heard the other lady who had showed him where that tool was. As I got to the door, said something about, what's going on? Hold on, I can help you. I just walked out the door. Didn't care, didn't give a damn. So apparently in this world now, everybody is so soft, and this man's older than I am. This was an old man in there. Like, he was, I'd say early 60s, whatever. And it was so butthurt that I just said, hey, I hope you get proper training, because I wish you the best. That offended him so much. And then he was raising his voice and whatnot. And the lady who can't say, hey, you can't chew gum in class, to the one kid, puts out a, saying, everybody has to stop chewing gum in class. Well, only one chewing gum is Billy. Only one here raising his voice is this guy who works for you. And you're telling me I need to calm down when I didn't raise my voice. I didn't do anything inappropriate here. So walked next door, told the guy what I needed. He said, absolutely not a problem. He said, I don't have the size that you want. I've got one that's about an inch bigger and one about an inch smaller, and half-inch things, blah, blah. I said, okay, how about, can I get one of each size? Bring back the ones I don't need. He said, absolutely not a problem in the world. So I bought myself 4 belts, got the 2 I needed, and 2 more that'll hopefully fit the one that I want in there close enough, and go from there. So that's life, and it's how it goes down. So anyway, that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys soon. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.